I apologize. It's windy. We are going to see if I mess up by taking out the air conditioner from the Del Sol. It doesn't work. It's not cold. The compressor doesn't work. I'm taking it out. I want to make room for a horn blaster's horn that I'm going to add, and just clean up the engine bay. It's a convertible. The T-top. I don't think I need AC, so let's see if we regret that. I watched a couple YouTube search videos on removing air conditioner from Civics, Del Sols, whatever, before I decided to tackle this. Obviously my AC didn't work. Never heard the compressor run. Most of the lines look pretty crappy, so I just figured I'd take it out, clean up the engine bay, and it's a convertible. I really don't think I'm going to miss the air conditioner, but grabbed a socket, a couple wrenches, took out some 10mm bolts to get the main hose disconnected. There wasn't even brackets on the top holding that radiator in the rubber grommets or anything like that, so that was easy to come out. Disconnected the canister over here and the bracket that held the canister in, that's down in the fender well, and then that ripped out. There's four 14mm bolts that hold on the AC compressor into the bottom of the engine block. Cranked those out, fell right out. Belt stayed on, I just cut that off. The bracket for the AC compressor and the bracket that holds on the power steering pump. I didn't have a power steering pump. Some previous owner removed it, I think. Whether it went bad or who knows, but I ended up taking that bracket out a day or two later when I was doing the horn. Two big cast iron pieces that hold the pulleys and all that stuff. But here you see me taking the bracket and the canister, trying to get a look down on the bottom to see, make sure I'm not missing nothing. Trace the lines over to the other side of the car. The two main lines, you can see they connect under the air filter. Can't really get to them well. They go into the firewall, into the AC evaporator, which is under the dash behind the battery. So disconnected the battery, took it out, realized the battery tray is kind of in the way. So I wanted to unbolt the battery tray. I realized I couldn't really get any leverage on pulling those two big lines out from the firewall with the battery tray in the way. So I think it's a 12 or a 14mm. There's three that hold the battery tray down. I'm actually really glad I did this. There's a bunch of dirt, mud, tree, debris that got stuck under the battery tray. You can see how rusted the battery tray is, but gave me a chance to blow all that out, let that be dry, not damp mud and tree stuff. So I need to go back in, take it back out, repaint all that stuff with some rust preventative to prevent that from getting worse in the future. But one of those 12 mils really was stuck, so I WD-40'd the threaded holes and cleaned the 3 bolts before I put them back in. But yeah, you can see all that crap down there. I started grabbing it with my hands. But yeah, there's two 10mm that hold the main line hoses to the firewall. You can see the air filter gets in my way. I end up popping that off. Again, one of those things, I'm glad I popped it off because I realized the clamp on the air filter up by the intake wasn't very tight. So I'm going to re-go over a lot of connections in this car just to make sure nobody's messing with it or that everything's tight. Lots of in and out to the toolbox. Got 2 adjustable wrenches to detach these here to make it 2 separate pieces. I knew they weren't going to come out in big whole pieces, not the way they're routed. So I break these 2 connections, get that one, and then actually when I was using the adjustable wrenches on the next 2, the threads just completely snapped. So I think this think the chassis had over 200,000 miles on it, so I'm pretty sure all these AC components were pretty thrashed and probably would have needed a full replacement to run well anyway. So I'm okay with taking it out and getting rid of it. But you can see me, I keep twisting thinking it's got to be coming loose. It's got to be coming loose. And it never did. And I realized eventually it's because they were cracked and broken. So, nice shot of my headlights. But yeah, I end up bending a couple little lines here, pulling them out just to make it easier to pull out. They were pretty brittle. So yeah, not super hard to do. You need a handful of tools and just time. And I think the worst part about working on the Del Sol is how low it is. So even if I'm kneeling next to it, it feels like it's too low. So my lower back gets thrashed doing all this stuff. Just reattached this bracket. That bracket line was just floating. So found a threaded hole and a 10mm bolt. Just tightened it back in there, and that way it's not flopping around.
So we got a lot of it out. The compressor, the radiator, the hoses. A lot of the hoses broke when I grabbed them. That's the battery box. I'm gonna clean out. Down here is a buildup of stuff and mud and stuff like that. I do eventually, one of the bolts broke in the part under the firewall. I do eventually want to get that out and clean that out. So yeah, we're going to tie up some of this electrical, get this all out of the way, make sure it doesn't get caught up in nothing, clean this out, and get the battery back in. We got all this out. Like I said, some of these thinner tubes snapped just touching them. You know, one of these snapped when I tried to loosen it. So it freed up all this space here. And like I said, I got a Horn Blasters Nightmare or Psycho horn, 2-horn, that I'm going to fit down in there since the horn doesn't work in this. So hot of summer, I think I'll know whether or not I really regretted taking out the AC, but we'll see. She's sputtering a little bit on acceleration sometimes. Change the spark plugs, new spark plug wires, and a new fuel filter. See if that helps with anything. So just took out the cruise control, doesn't work anyway. Took out the power steering lines that were down in there. Yeah, cleaning it all up. Next up, we're going to do this fuel filter. I'm going to stuff a couple rags underneath it so when I pop this off, it doesn't leak too bad.
So I thought the fuel filter swap would go pretty easy. Thought there'd be just one bolt or screw that held it on, one bolt for the top fuel line, one bolt or nut for the bottom fuel line, but the top fuel line is actually a 12mm and a 17mm for the banjo line, and then the bottom's a 14mm, I think. There are 3 bolts, 10mm, that hold on the bracket, and then one that holds the clamp that holds the fuel filter to the bracket. One of the bolts at the bottom of the bracket broke off in the firewall, so now it's just 2 bolts. But I realized after I took the fuel filter out of the bracket that I needed the rigidity and the holding of the bracket to actually break the 17mm nut on the top. So there was a lot of putting it in, take it back out, put it back in, when it just added time. And a lot of I didn't know what size wrench, run back in the garage, come back out, run back in, come back out. Instead of just bringing a whole set of wrenches with me in the first place, that would have allowed me to know exactly what size right then and there. But here you can see me reinstalling the bracket again because I can't break the 17 millimeter on the top. So a little annoying, but I got it back in, got everything tightened up. Initially there's a little leak, and then I just really recranked on the 17 millimeter bolt on the top to really seal it in, and the leak stopped. It's kind of scary when you think about fuel leaking out next to a battery, next to a hot engine, while you're flying down the road, hitting bumps and revving the motor. Wouldn't take much fuel to get that fire going and started. So be careful, double check, triple check before you really start ripping around after you replace something with fuel lines in it. So I messed up a little bit when I did a Rock Auto order for some parts for this. I got some brake rotors, brake pads, but I just looked at my phone at a picture I have of the engine compartment to pick the fuel filter. Fuel filter I initially ordered, both inlet and outlet fuel lines were at the top, so I ended up Amazoning this K&N fuel filter next day to get this swapped out. But installing the fuel filter is the exact opposite of taking it out. You attach the bottom 14 millimeter line, attach the 17 and the 12. There's crush washers. Like I said before, when I initially turned the car on and tested, small leak from the top that I immediately saw a drip from, but just recranked the 17 millimeter down to stop that. So I'm always weary of working with gas lines and stuff that can catch on fire while you're driving down the road. So I've checked it 3 or 4 times since to make sure the fuel filter's completely dry, nothing's dripping, nothing's doing anything. But yeah, it's not it's an awkward spot to work, not a ton of room, but and you're reaching over a little bit, but again, it's not difficult. Again, big ups to the M12 3/8 little ratchet. That's a newer tool in my toolbox. They're pretty fun to work with. Very small, very handy. Makes taking long threaded bolts out way quicker, way easier. Just got to be careful when you're putting them back in that you don't cross thread them. Just cranking on that lever, cranking on that button. But yeah, fuel filter wasn't hard to do.
There was a small leak, but I retightened the big 17 millimeter and it stopped. Sounds good. I'm gonna take it for a test drive. For now, put all this away. Here's all the trash from today. Cruise control, power steering line, old plugs, cardboard trash. See how she runs. yeah, next thing's the horn. Gotta add a horn. I always forget how unsafe it is to drive a car without a way to notify people that they can't see you, especially how small and little this little bastard is. So spark plugs and wires, super easy. Anybody can do that. Ripping out stuff, pretty easy as long as you got a simple set of tools. I didn't have power steering in this when I got it. Cruise control never worked. AC never worked. So I don't think I'm gonna miss those three things at all. And I don't think they would have been repairable without, you know, fully replacing everything. So this isn't that kind of car. So let me know what you think. Let me know what you think I should do next. Budget friendly. I'm thinking nitrous, just because I've never had a nitrous kit. I think it might be funny to pull up with a Del Sol with a bottle. So drop a comment, drop a like, let me know what you think. Have a good one.